let's practice some yoga. So let's find the top of our mats, plant our feet, tap into our breath, and circle our arms up to the sky. And just feeling, rocking back and forth, feeling into your hips. How does it feel to the left? How does it feel to the right? Circle arms again up to the sky. Bring your hands to prayer position. Bring your arms back and up. Maybe do a gentle back bend, some side stretches. Let's try to find some things that feel really good in your body right now. So some side stretches. Maybe you look up to the sky. Take your arms behind with a strap or just grab your hands and look to the sky and just get a gentle stretch and maybe a few more shoulder stretches, just tapping into that breath, maybe slowing it down a little bit. Breathing in, circling your arms up. Exhale, come to a forward fold. Let's tap in here into our forward folds. Kind of rocking back and forth here, really feeling into your hips. How do your hips feel? Maybe even rocking forward onto your toes. Coming up to that halfway lift and back down to your forward fold. Maybe squatting down and finding Malasana and just feeling some openness here in Malasana and breathing in and out as you move. You can come up to the ball of your foot and rock back and forth. How do your hips feel? Let's check in. Come onto your knees and into plank and slow lower halfway down and press up into upward facing and then come back down. And then come back down and push back up into just kind of peeling your chest off the floor, and do this a few times. Pressing off the floor, maybe even just like engaging your core by doing that. Not necessarily pressing with your hands. And then come up into your downward facing. In this dog, let's just kind of lean into each of your hips, feeling your toes come to a point and then setting your heels back down and maybe moving your hips a little bit more side to side. Maybe arch your back and work on that hip tilt, and then walk your feet up to the front, coming into your halfway lift, and then forward fold all the way back down and completing that first sun salutation, arms circle to the sky, and then forward fold. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, move your feet to the back. Come onto your knees for your plank, chaturanga, all the way down. Inhale, upward dog, and exhale, downward dog. And in this downward dog, let's think about maybe walking your dog and engaging your core, maybe rotating your elbows and walking your feet to the front. Look at your toes and your halfway lift, forward fold all the way down, circle arms all the way back up to the sky. And let's come down again for forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale, exhale, plant hands, move feet to the back of the mat. Lean forward, come onto knees, upward facing, inhale, and exhale, downward facing. Really feel into your body. Really work on that hip tilt, maybe bending your knees, walking your dog, rotating shoulders, engaging your core. These are all things you can try. Pick one or pick all. Now let's set our knees down and come into hero's pose. This is my favorite restorative pose versus doing like a child's pose. We'll also practice child's pose for a moment, but this first resting posture, let's do heroes. Taking deep inhales and exhales. Then let's find tabletop, planting hands, spreading fingers, and rotating body over your hands. Really finding some stretching in your wrists, and then cat-cow. Inhale, cow, exhale, cat. Inhale, cow, exhale, cat. Finding a rhythm or maybe even just some organic movement. So maybe one hip kind of leans to the left, one hip leans to the right. Maybe you look back at your hip, really kind of creating like a barrel roll or an arch in your back. Find whatever movement feels good. Just be in your body, be present here, be present with me. And now lean back and bring your forearms to the floor and find child's pose. And take a deep breath here and then come out as we find that tabletop position, and with one knee down and one foot behind, let's just rock back and forth gently, just finding some stretching in your calf. Then raise your leg and then extend the opposite arm, coming into some crunches with your elbow to knee. Arch your back a lot when you're going into your crunch and engage that core. Engage. Inhale, exhale, engage. Inhale, extend, exhale, engage. Set that hand down and now flex your foot and raise that leg up. Just working on some hip flexor strength here. Come back into your hero's pose. Tap into the breath. Inhale and exhale. Put your hands back down. Rock back and forth on that calf. Really feeling into that stretch on your calf. Now raise your leg, your left leg, and then extend your right arm. And here, let's just go for a really deep extension as far as you can go, and then crunch it. So bring your elbow to knee and then arch your back, engage your core, crunch, exhale, inhale, extend, exhale, crunch, inhale, extend, exhale, crunch, inhale, extend, exhale, crunch, inhale, extend, exhale, crunch. Really focus on that engagement. Breathing with your movement. Now set your hand down, extend your leg, keep your leg extended, bend your knee, and let's pulse it out. So you're building that strength in your hips. 1, 2. There we go. Now come back up into heroes. And feeling that hard work you just did. You're amazing. Pull up your pants. Breathe here. Feel into your body. All right, now come back onto all fours and let's rotate your hips. So lift up your right hip and do some circles 3 times in one direction and then take it into the opposite direction. So just doing some awesome hip movement. And then extending your leg out in front and extending that opposite arm. Really feeling into that. And then set your knee down, just sealing in that practice. So circling your hips one direction 3 times and then the other direction 3 times. Maybe you only do it twice. Just do it the same amount on each side. Now extend your leg and extend your arm. Now feel into your body how it feels different this time than you did it the first time. Set your hand down, set your knee down, and lean back, and let's come into heroes again. And if you want to replace hero's pose with child's pose, or maybe a comfortable cross-legged position, feel free. Do whatever feels good in your body. Now take our right leg and bring it in front, and let's find low lunge. So really sinking those hips down, bringing your foot far enough in front of you so that your knee is parallel with your ankle. Then leaning back, staring at your pinky toe into your half splits, and coming up into crescent, bringing your arms to the sky. If that works for you, you can always keep your hands on your knee for that low lunge, and then back into half splits, trying to keep your back straight into half splits, really feeling that hip tuck. Coming onto your crescent again and finding a flow with it. So breathing out, half splits, and then breathing in for crescent. And let's take it to lizard. Lizard is such a great hip opener, and maybe you even move those hips around in lizard. Feel into everything in your body. So you're in lizard and maybe you feel it really deeply. Move your hips to a different way and see if you can feel it moderately deeply. You want to find that edge for yourself, and maybe even just like work out a little bit of the kinks that are in your hips. And come back on into your heroes and just feel and breathe and allow yourself to just tap into your breath again. Take your left leg out in front into that deep low lunge, keeping your hands on your knees or maybe even on the wall or a block, and then lean back into your half splits, thinking about engaging your core here. Lean forward, engage that core, and finding that stretch, that deepness to the stretch. Maybe each time you just go a little bit deeper, or maybe you stay exactly where you're at. Tap into your own practice wherever you're at. Then lean back to your half splits, and then come up into your crescent if that is what you want to do, if that feels good to you. And then exhale, half splits, and just tapping into your breath here. Inhale, low lunge, crescent. Exhale, half splits. And then moving that left leg over to the side, finding lizard on the other side, really thinking about open hips. I love hip openers. It's my favorite. And just moving your hips in circular motions and finding a deepness maybe that wasn't there before just kind of eases out everything. And just breathe here, tap into the breath. Walk your hands back, help your leg to the back, and find heroes again. Just really prepping your body for some awesomeness. And let's come to our back. So walk up to the front of the mat and then just find your back here. And let's do some core work. I like doing core work in the middle of a workout instead of the end. It's not my favorite way to end a workout. Okay, so let's rise and engage our core and exhale. And then do that 10 times. And then bend our knees, flex our feet, and rise. Exhale each time. For our crunches, if this is too much, stay with feet on the ground. And the next level would be bicycles. So rotating your chest towards opposite knee and elbow 10 times on each side. So exhale. Finding a rhythm there. And then release. Plant your feet on the ground. Take a moment to tap into that hard work you just did. You're amazing. And then let's do it one more time. So 10 times, feet on the ground. 1, 2, 3. Engaging your core. 4, 5. I think I did it 10 times. Oh, maybe I did it 5 this time. Now bringing your feet up or keeping your feet on the ground, whatever works for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and then exhale. And then opposite knee and opposite elbow, and we'll do 10 times on each side. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You got this. You're amazing. Let's just be in a reclined butterfly for a moment. Arms are extended above you. And roll from, let's just find a roll up to standing. Circle your arms to the sky. And let's be present here. Just finding a couple of arm circles. And then let's come back into crescent. Standing crescent. And then pyramid. And you can stay in pyramid like this or grab a block. And I realized I didn't have any blocks. So I went and found one. My kids love playing with the blocks. So be in your pyramid where you're at in this moment. Take a deep breath here. I found the block. And then you can come on to pyramid on the other side if you'd like. One thing I could say about pyramid is keeping that hip that's where the foot is back forward. So really trying to make sure your hips are aligned. And coming back into crescent and then warrior 2, open up. I like to think about where my body's at before I turn my head. So really kind of think about my hips, think about my arms, and then turn my head, knowing that I'm in the pose. And then reverse warrior, warrior 2 for a breath, circle arms to crescent, and then pyramid, back to crescent, exhale, and then bringing your back foot to the front. And just taking a moment to check in with yourself and your breath and where you're at. Take your opposite foot. So this one is my right foot. And let's do crescent on the other side. And I thought it would be helpful to see it from the opposite angle. You don't have to face the opposite direction if you don't want to. Crescent to pyramid. So setting that back foot down at a 45-degree angle, focusing on that left hip really being aligned with the right hip. So almost like pushing your right hip forward, keeping your front foot at like a teeny tiny micro bend, and just working your hip open slowly. And that block just brings the ground up to you to work it slowly. Now bend your knee and adjust your back heel so that it's up into crescent, and then tap into warrior 2. So set the back heel down and arms come down parallel to the ground, and then extended warrior. And take a deep breath here. Warrior 2. And breathe here. Come into your crescent. Taking one deep breath in each of these movements, and then pyramid pose, coming back into pyramid. Breathing in, breathing out, and then finding crescent one more time. And bringing that back foot to the front, exhale. And take a moment to just check in with your body. How are you feeling? What do you need in this moment? Anything? And let's drop into a Malasana squat and then a star pose. So let's do this 10 times. Malasana squat to star pose. So things to think about in Malasana squat. squatting down, your hips to your knees. Your toes are in line with your knees and they are facing out. Your arms come out when you come up, engaging your core, breathing with your movement. So exhale as you come up, inhale as you come down. Then after 10 times, turn your toes in and lean forward and come into Prasarita. So wide-legged forward fold. Bring your hands to the ground or to a block. Finding some openness with your hips, you can lean back and forth and maybe bend your knees a little bit. Engage your core here. Make sure like everything is working hard still as your hips open. Bring your hands to your hips and then come up back into your squats. So really focusing on these strength moves. When you're building strength, this will help you with your flexibility. So strength and flexibility both are super important. So squat, exhale, extend, squat, extend, and then come back down to Prasarita, wide-legged forward fold. This time you can grab opposite ankles and help your torso come closer to your knees if you'd like. Bend your knees a lot here. Feel into your body, feel whatever it is that you feel in this pose. It's not meant to be an easy pose for sure. It does feel good, but then like being in it for a little bit longer sometimes can be like certain things come up. These are big muscle groups that we're working. Come out of it, hands to hips, and then roll back up and bring your back foot to the front. Maybe even shake off your legs for a moment to just really feel into your Prasarita, all that hard work you just did. And I need to go grab a headband because my hair is driving me nuts. So what was I thinking? So apologies. Need a hairband. I ended up finding one in my bathroom. I thought I had one like right there and it just wasn't there. So, but here, let's just tap into our breath. So take a deep breath in and exhale. Another deep breath in. Exhale. Just how are we feeling? How are our legs? I know. So if you have one, grab a yoga towel. You can just use it on the top half of your mat if you'd like. And this is because you probably have been sweating a lot. So let's just check in with that. Now set your forearms on the ground and you're on your knees, and let's do that extension that we had done in the beginning. So extending one of your legs. So this is my right leg, and just raising it up, raising that hip up, and then bending your right knee, bringing that to the ground, and then raising up your left leg, bringing that up. So really focusing on Dolphin. This is a prep to Dolphin. So let's do this 10 times, exhaling as you go. So exhale, leg up, inhale, leg down. Think about that. All right, so after you've done it 10 times on each side, let's move into bicycles, and just keep in mind you can just plant your feet on the ground and do crunches. So exhale. Engage your core. Think about trying to get that elbow to your knee. And then let's do just a couple of just regular crunches to work it out. Just integrating your postures too. So since we were arching our back, then we can kind of do an opposite movement, which is a crunch. So coming onto forearms again, maybe rubbing your hands together, really planting your hands on the mat, and then measuring your forearm distance for your elbows. So keeping that in mind. Then taking your hands, clasping them together, and lifting your knees up off the ground, and then doing that same movement with your legs. So raising your leg up to the sky. So, and let's do this 10 times. 1, 2, 3, and then engaging your core here. You really want to think about engaging your core. Set your knees down, come up off your hands. I'm shaking my head because I just worked hard and we are awesome. Like, we got this, girl. So come back onto your forearms, measure that distance between your elbows, making sure it's proper alignment, and then do the same thing with the other side. So left leg in the air, raising and lowering. So making sure you're breathing with your movement. So inhale, exhale, raise. Inhale, exhale, raise. Inhale, exhale, raise. Making sure your core is engaged. Everything is working hard here. And then plant your knee down, come up into hero's pose for a moment, and just like tap into that feeling of, you just did that. You're amazing. Okay, back onto your forearms, onto your knees, and let's do some more hip raises on our knees. And a reminder, if you don't feel like Dolphin is serving you, you can always just do this posture from your knees. This knee option is perfect. You are working everything in it. You are working hard here. So set your other knee down and do those hip raises on the other side, engaging that core, engaging everything, really opening up your hips and really warming everything up here. Whew. I know you're working hard. Let's take a couple deep breaths here. Maybe roll out our neck. Think about what's ahead, which is one more set of Dolphin leg raises. 1, 2, this is peak posture right here. 3, 4, you got this. Raise up those legs. 1, 2, 3, you got this. Engage your core. 3, 2, 1, bring it down. Heroes. One more side. You got this. One more side. Almost done. So let's raise that leg. 7, 6, 5, 4. You got this. Almost there. You can do it. 1, 2, 3. You got it. Exhale. And set the knees down. How does that feel? Do you hate me? I was drenched in sweat as I was doing this, so I feel you. Whatever you're feeling, I feel you. So lie on your back, bend your knees. Maybe take your arms into a diamond shape over your head. You can find a reclined butterfly with your feet, or if your back is pinchy or anything like that, you can just stay with your knees up towards the sky. And just integrating a little bit here and doing some windshield wiper action with your legs, your knees. So take your feet mat distance apart and move them from side to side. Maybe you feel your back just kind of moving around just enough. It's just very simple. Then maybe hook the heel of one of your feet to one of your knees, maybe your right foot to your left knee. Just deepening the stretch a little bit, and then if you chose to do that, you can do that on the opposite side as well. Really feeling into everything here. And if it's in your practice, or if you want it to be, happy baby is always amazing. So take your knees towards your chest, grab the outer edges of your feet, find happy baby. If you can't quite reach your feet, you can always just take your hands behind your knees and allow your hips to open that way. Just that final integration. Extending your legs, extending your arms, snuggle your shoulders under your back. Really try to find that comfortable arch, that relaxed arch in your back. And if you snuggle your shoulders a little bit, just kind of move your shoulder blades underneath you just a smidgen more. Usually you'll find it without having to put anything there like a pillow or anything like that. And then just tap into your body. What are you feeling and where are you feeling it? You worked hard. You deserve amazing rest right now. Don't skip this part. This is important. This is the hardest pose for some people because being quiet with your thoughts can be like overwhelming. So just let your thoughts pass as they come up. Just feeling into all the hard work you did and thanking your body for being awesome, because it is. Every inch of it is awesome and worthy, and it's deserving of everything. Go ahead and circle your arms overhead, finding a really long stretch, maybe rolling out your wrists, ankles. Roll onto one side. Find a comfortable cross-legged position. Take your hands into prayer and to that third eye and bow to yourself. Say namaste. Thank you so much for practicing. You're amazing. Check back in with this video a couple more times. You're awesome. Thank you. Bye.